What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It is your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first-round pick with the Kansas City Royals. And man, I every now and then we go around the country with this, man, and we got coaches from all over the. 2 days ago we had Jackson, Mississippi. We go West Coast. Definitely a large contingent in the Southeast. But, man, it's always good, man, when I come back, I come back to the crib, man. I always like to go back to New York and show my Northeast coaches some love, man, all right? And it's no different from today, all right? We're going to learn about Bryant and Stratton College, right? And what I like about it, man, I see a lot of different people, all right, on the roster, all right? A lot of signees from different parts of the country and overseas. I'm going to learn about a school that I'm very interested to learn about, man. You know what I'm saying? So, Coach, if you could, man, we got Coach Bob Godlewski, you know what I'm saying? Coach God, all right? You know what I'm saying? We got Coach God over here, all right? On today, man. We're going back to New York, man. My New York days, all right? Coach Bob, man, what's going on, brother? How we doing today, man?
Good, D. How are you? Good. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No doubt about it, man. So listen, man, we always good at sharing and learning about different schools, man. And I want to learn about Bryant and Stratton College, man. So first of all, where is it located? What level is it? And then I'm gonna get to you, all right? But I want to learn more about the school first, and then I'm gonna get to the coach behind it.
Right. Our campus, D, is located in Albany, New York, not far from where you came from. But we have 18 campuses around the country. We got, I think it's 5 of them in the state of New York. There's 4 in Ohio, 3 in Wisconsin, 3 in Virginia, and we have an online campus as well. So when people ask me, well, how big is your school? It's all relative. Our campus, maybe 300, 350 students, but as Bryant Stratton College, we're probably about 12 or 13,000 strong.
All right,
baseball just started here a couple of years ago here in Albany. Prior to that, they had baseball in Virginia Beach, the campus in Virginia Beach. I think 3 or 4 years. In fact, this past summer, one of their graduates was drafted by the Orioles. They got a guy. All of our other campuses, which is the Virginia Beach, Cleveland, Ohio, and Wisconsin campuses, they're NJCAA junior colleges. We're a 4-year college. We play under the small college banner of the United States Collegiate Athletic Association, the USCAA. But like in a case like ours, our schedule is primarily made up against NAIA teams and NCAA Division II teams. So we play an upscale schedule. We'll play some junior college. We'll go play our Virginia Beach team out there on our way to Florida. Hopefully at some point, my thought is to put some type of tournament together somewhere in between so all 4 of our college campuses can have a little fun on a weekend and see who's got the best program or the number 1 program that weekend. But it's a school like in our school. The difference is we offer both associate degrees and bachelor degrees. So if somebody comes here and they're all going to get an associate's degree. So if someone comes and they find themselves saying, I got my associates in criminal justice, I want to move on to something else, we'll find them a 4-year school if it's something that we don't offer. Whereas the other campuses are 2-year schools with some 4-year programs within their jurisdiction. But we kind of fancy ourselves as a 4-year college with 2-year programs.
So let me ask you, so your particular school, so it sounds like you could kind of, I know it's a 4-year school, but are you saying after they get an associate's degree at your school and in criminal justice and they want to switch, are you helping them?
Absolutely. I've been doing this. This is my 44th year. And I started out as a head coach at the college level and the junior college level. I did that for 11 years, and I was able to place a lot of my players in D1, D2, D3 schools around the country. As we discussed some time ago, I scouted with Tampa Bay, and I got a chance to see you. Probably one of the farthest home runs I've ever seen hit at New Paltz High School years ago. And so during that time, I got an opportunity to make a lot of friends in the coaching ranks. So if we have someone that comes to our program, and we're new, right? We just finished our second year last year, and you can't even count it. We played 8 games before, or 10 games before everything stopped. But if someone comes and decides they want to move on to a different 4-year school, we don't have a program. Our programs are business administration and in the health sciences. So if somebody wants to move on to something else that we don't have at another school, absolutely, I'm going to move them on based on their ability, their grades. We're a school, D, that educates to employment. And what that really means is that we're focused in on finding jobs for our graduates. So just to give you an example, I had 2 guys that finished their second year this past year and got their associate's degree. Rather than going on to a 4-year school, our career services offices found them really good jobs. And they called me up this summer and said, Coach, I got a job making some pretty good money right now. And, I'm going to bypass the next 2 years of playing ball. I said, good for you. Start your career, let those companies pay for your bachelor's degree down the road. And so that's the way we work. That's the way Bryant Stratton is, and they do a great job at it.
Man, that's good, man. So when it sounds like it's a junior college / 4-year school / trade school type of, atmosphere over there. Now, when it comes to ball, you guys are playing Division II NIA programs, traveling as far south as Virginia, or do you go further south?
We'll open up in Louisiana in early February. We'll go to Louisiana. We'll go to Mississippi and Alabama. We'll come home, and then we'll go to Florida for almost 3 weeks.
Wow.
We come home from there. Then we head out to Pennsylvania, Ohio, in that area. Realistically, we're on the road half the semester.
Wow.
So we have academic people traveling with us, and people think it's a lot of fun. I've coached at several different colleges, and when they hear about Florida, they think about beaches. Well, our school thinks about the conference room that they're going to spend when they're not on the baseball field, because we're going to spend 3-4 hours a day, and they're doing our work. And it's proven good, not only here, but at the previous college I was at. We did the same thing. And my overall GPA, including both colleges, is about a 3.25. And that's having a roster of 40 to 45 guys each year.
Really? Wow. So speaking of the rosters, I mean, we talked a little bit last week. You have kids from all over, you know what I'm saying, and all different nationalities and races and stuff and everything. So give me a little breakdown. That's why I was intrigued to learn about, what you guys are doing up there. Give me a little breakdown of, where your roster is from, and break down some of the races that are, on, it doesn't mean nothing, but sometimes it does, So, because I've seen the pictures and stuff like that, it looked like you have a nice, mix of guys,
I call it, when I'm recruiting, I tell players, you're going to play on the most diverse team you've ever been on in your life. We have players from Curacao, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. This year we brought a guy in from Ecuador. We got players representing probably 10 different states here in the States. And, along with our locals. So we probably got 12 to 15 locals within the Capital District area, and the rest are made up with either from those countries I talked about, or the different states as far away as Arizona, California, Texas, Florida. And that's based on the years I spent not only coaching, but scouting and making a lot of contacts over the years. And I ran a summer program, one that I tried to get you to play on, going back after your junior year of high school. And we traveled all over the country back then. We went, and in fact, I took teams twice to Prague and Czechoslovakia. And that was the year I wanted to take you. So we've traveled a lot. We've made a lot of contacts. And so recruiting now is I'm not going to say it's easy. Recruiting is always tough, but I always have a lot of people calling me with players that they think would fit my program.
Let me ask you this. So, matter of fact, let me get this one question in. Russ asks, how do you get kids from Curacao?
Well, that started with a junior college coach friend of mine in Buffalo, New York. He had contacted me and said, "Listen, I got several guys here from Curacao. They're going to finish their 2-year program." I was at a previous school that unfortunately ended up shutting down in Vermont, College of St. Joseph. And so he said, they're looking for a program and, some scholarship money. He said, "Coach, believe me, these guys can play." And so we brought these guys in to our program at the College of St. Joseph, brought 2 of them there. And then when that closed up and I came here, they had contacts with other players. So our first year program, we had 5 guys on the team from Curacao. And this year we'll probably have 3. 3 of them have graduated from our program last year. And so we'll have 3, but I know next year there's a lot of them that have contacted me that want to come here.
All right, so Dominican, Curacao, Puerto Rico, obviously the New York and all these different states, man. So, when it comes to, what is the small college conference and the level, whatever, that thing, how does it break down when it comes to scholarship opportunities? And, are you, what is the allowed, were you allowed scholarship wise? You got Division II, only got 9, but depending on the school, or how does it work for you guys?
The USCAA is very similar to the NAIA. We're just, I think you could call them the small college system of the NAIA, and I'll probably get in trouble for saying that, but a lot of the rules and regulations are followed there, as well as the NCAA. So our scholarships are exactly the same as the NAIA. We break it down. We go to the Dominican Republic. Curacao has a specific program where the government kind of helps them, very similar to like New York State has a program where, depending on your finances, you're going to get your Pell money, but New York State offers money. A lot of states offer money. Curacao does the same thing for their students, but they have a different program that if they graduate within a certain time frame, they only have to pay back certain money. If they graduate on time, I'm not even sure, and I may be corrected on this, but they don't have to pay anything back. It depends. A lot of it has to be on their programs, has to be approved by their government, whereas I'm on the board of directors of Dream Big Academy in the Dominican Republic. And years ago when I was scouting with Tampa, I was also coaching. And so while I went out there working for Tampa, I recruited 6 or 7 players. One of them who now is a part owner of this Dream Big Academy in Santo Domingo. So a couple of years ago, he said, "Bob, we'd really like to have you on the board of directors. We know you have a lot of contacts, so on and so forth." If they finally come to the realization back in the 90s when I went there, and I'm sure you met a lot of players, their way off the island was baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They played baseball morning, noon, and night. They knew they were going to get that opportunity. Well, over the years, they've signed a lot of 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. These kids get released in a year or two, and they got nothing, right? They might have collected, who knows, $50,000. I don't know how much money they got. So when I sat down with these guys, I said, "Listen, you have to make this more academic than baseball. Everybody knows these kids can play baseball. Plus, their way off the island now has to be through academics. Let them come here, let them get in college campuses. This starts with learning English." So they're the only academy that I know of in the DR that spends a year before they even get into this baseball part teaching them English. To give you an idea, I got 4 guys in town right now from the DR. Great ball players. I'm excited. We opened up last Friday, and these guys are top of the line players. They can speak English, and they speak it very well. They have a chance now. They're going to get a good education from us. They're going to go on, and hey, I hope, in the DR, they sign kids 16 to 17 years old. These
Right.
kids are now 18, 19 years old.
Right.
They still can't sign.
Right.
Scout here sees them or one in Florida, here or wherever, they'll have that opportunity. But in the meantime, now they're getting an education.
Mm.
That to me is the most important thing. What I'm most proud of with the guys I brought from the DR back in the 90s, they all got 4 year degrees while they were here. They all got jobs now. They're all doing well for themselves.
Mm.
The one guy is Marlon Hernandez that played for me. And he's with Dream Big out there. He also lives in Florida. And I said, you're the story. You don't have to make up anything else. You're the guy that came over.
That's right.
The guy that started with me went on. He got a scholarship to Mercyhurst University in Pennsylvania. Finished his college. He's doing very well for himself.
Mm.
So I said, that's all you got to say to these people. And they've done a great job with this academy, and I'm just excited. Actually, I'm talking while I'm talking to you. I'm talking to other coaches to let them know that in the next year there's going to be a lot of players looking to come on over. We can only take so many here. So any coach that's out there that you can contact me at Bryant Stratton College here, and there's going to be a lot of players wanting to come over here to play college baseball.
Man, listen. I think I'm just speaking to the DR stuff. I got a couple of coaches that's actually on here. That's one coach Eaton down there runs a post grad program in Florida. He said he wants to get your contact. He wants to play you when you get down to Florida. They're in the Tampa area, post grad program. And I'm sure he probably wants that contact too for kids after they finish his program to get them up to school with you. So that'd be a good contact for you there. Speaking of the DR stuff, man, you hit on something hard, man, because I hear these stories a lot, and I was talking to maybe we need to talk behind the scenes, because I was talking to a few dudes out there last year when we were talking about the recruiting stuff, and a lot of shadiness goes on out there in DR sometimes, and so I was. It sounds like. Let me ask you this: do you? And I'll get back to the States and everything like here, but for just the DR purposes, because I'm nosy, are kids that go to this, sign professional contracts and, maybe don't make it all, out of the academy parts of those, are they still eligible to come play on board with you? Or is it just, you're just getting the kids that are necessarily don't sign, with the academies, put them into your foundation, training them up English-wise, and then shipping them out to your school? Is there a mix of kids? You know what I'm saying? It's the reason I asked.
The academy is not professional baseball. These are kids
I understand.
that have gotten they realize, they've gone through their 16-year-old, 17-year-old, nobody signed them.
Okay.
And now the academy has picked them up with the distinct mission to get them here to go to college.
Right.
The only thing that I added to them, and they had already had it started, but I emphasized to them, they have to speak English and understand English. That's the only chance they have academically. Otherwise, let's be honest, there's some colleges out there love to have the DR kids, but educationally wise, they know they don't speak English. They get them through, and kids, for a year, and then all of a sudden, they failed classes. They got to play a year, and they don't know what to do. So what this Dream Big Academy, and I'm with you. There's a lot of shady things that do go on there. This isn't one of them. These guys, his name is Johan Ramirez. I think he played some pro ball years ago. He's running a program with a distinct, and I don't know if you know, I think it's Coach Davis that was at Miami-Dade. He retired. He's involved as well. Mm-hmm. It's about getting these kids, number one, to speak English, do it at a high level, take their SATs, take all the tests that they have to take, get good grades. They stress it. The 4 kids that I got to come in here, and I've never seen this before. The lowest SAT score was 1160. The highest was 1320. And these are bright kids that have to have this opportunity to have a chance at life. And we're one school. There's thousands, not hundreds out there. Mm-hmm. And this Dream Big Academy, the way I see it, they just do it right. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm hoping to get out there this summer, but with COVID, I was scared to to get on a plane and go out there. But I hope to get out there, maybe if things clear up this fall, to be able, because a lot of the parents wanted me to talk to them. They wanted to hear about not only our school, but hear about colleges in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they're finding with the people from Dream Big is it's not those other people that have used players over
Right.
there.
Right.
You know, a buck for their pocket, and
Right.
then sign, and nobody cares. You know, the other thing, and there's colleges, I think there's NAIA schools in Florida. If a kid signs when he's 16 years old, and now with this big release that occurred of what's it, 1,000, 1,100 kids are out of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, like, if they can sign with NAIA schools and maybe with junior colleges and maybe NCAA schools, they still have eligibility.
That's what I was asking you.
It's about the organizations themselves are going to pay. You know, they're Toronto or Kansas City. You know, they sign the contract, they guarantee them an education.
Right.
The difference is that those colleges have to have a specific graduation rate. We give you an idea. We're a for-profit college that's going to nonprofit status in the next month or so. One of the reasons is because when we, as a for-profit college, they want us to have a 50% graduation rate. Well, no college has a 50% graduation. Not at four. It's an unheard of number. But if you're a non-for-profit, the numbers drop down to where I think it's 30 or 35%. So I've talked to Major League Baseball, and they said, well, the minute you become a school that falls within that range, you let us know, and we're going to put you on the approved list. School. I know right now there are 12 kids in the DR that want to come. 3 of them are signed up, and they're paying their own way in our online classes right now. I want to come in January. Whatever that rule is that Major League Baseball has in the colleges. So, and again, it's a matter of having the right schools out there, the colleges out there that want to pursue this. And I'm more willing to help. And Dream Big Academies help. Because they got, right now in their program, they have over 300 baseball players, and summers in the vicinity of about 100 men's and women's soccer. And so they're doing
You broke up a little bit. 100, what? Soccer? Did you say soccer?
They got men's and women's soccer that they're trying to work with to get them into colleges here in the United States.
Okay.
You know, they're doing great things, and
that's right.
Any college coach that wants to talk to me, I'll be more than happy to help them.
That'd be great, man. And that'll help me, man. When I'm helping some of these kids in colleges looking for players, I'll just connect you. You know what I'm saying? So I got this question that came in. Russ says, can the U.S. kids really compete with all of the advantages of the DR and the academics? What can the U.S. do to compete with the Caribbean countries and the free academy baseball? We are the U.S. kid. Where can the U.S. kids have to pay? You know, where the U.S. kids have to pay to play. So more U.S. kids are playing the less expensive football sports of football and basketball.
You know, Dave, I'm a guy that going back to the late 70s and 80s, I started travel baseball in upstate New York long before a lot of people had it. It's gotten out of hand. You know, I was just talking to a fellow this morning, and he's telling me what these kids are paying, and I'm just, you know, I almost fell on my knees. They buckled my knees, man. And I just can't believe the amounts of money that are being put into this stuff, and they're not going to see the results that they're being promised. You know, if you're a pitcher that's 95, 93, listen, you don't need to pay that. They're going to find you. You know, if you're a college, you can play at the college ball. College coaches are going to find you. It's to go out and pay that kind of money. And listen, some of them do a great job. Yeah, out your way, there's a program that does a great job, and they place a lot of kids. But each time I look, it's a pitcher, it's a shortstop, it's a catcher. You know, there's outfielders out there. There's a lot of other players out there. And I just think that, you know, a parent should do the right, you know, do your due diligence, look at the different, showcases that are out there, see where, you know, they're getting a good look, and go to a showcase or two. You know, you're not going to pay $5,000 for that kind of stuff.
Right.
You're playing a local summer team where you're going to get your at-bats in, you're going to get your innings in, you're going to get, the game's still going to be fun for you. The pressure's not on. Not only when they travel, their parents travel. So their hotel bills, their meal bills. And, unless the program's raising money and not charging a lot of money, to me, it's scary to where it's gotten right now. And then you're asking kids to come to, say, a D3 college where there's no scholarships. Now they're going to go in debt. They've already gone in debt for God knows how much for the last 3 years. And now colleges are saying, well, now you got to pay me $20,000 a year to come to school. That's a good deal. Well, I've already spent that kind of money. Well, they got to make a decision. I believe this is only my opinion. They got to make a decision. What's more important, playing that summer ball, paying that money, or actually getting into college? And as a friend of mine who's fighting an illness, Gary Gilmore, Coastal Carolina, he said it best. And I tell my kids, I said, listen, we're going to have an opportunity to play for a national championship. And he said it some time ago. He said, would you rather be a kid that goes to a college that has a chance to play a national championship, whether it's Division I, NAIA, junior college, or whatever, or do you want to go to a college that doesn't have a chance and you may not even have a chance to see the field? And so I think, there's too many people out there that think about that Division I stuff, that thinks about all that other stuff. Get a college education. Play baseball. If you're good enough, this. You played with guys. They're going to find you, and you're going to get an opportunity. And that doesn't matter what level. Yeah, it's an advantage to be at Florida State. Yeah, an advantage to be at Miami. Yeah, would have been an advantage to be at Maryland. Yeah, but the reality is there's a lot of guys out there that didn't play in those programs.
And that's why, and I think sometimes parents don't want to hear that. They're like, they're paying the money in the travel ball right now because they feel like it's what they have to do. And then now you're telling them basically it doesn't, the investment does not work out the way they think it does, you know what I'm saying, which is absolutely correct. And then, you're telling them if you're good enough, you'll get found. I agree with your same logic, especially somebody that's halfway decent that can play. To me, playing 1 or 2 big-time showcases, the rest, just get some ABs. And I believe in just going on to particular college campuses, going to those camps, spend the money to go to a camp or 2 that school that you feel like you can go and help out and play right away in. You know what I'm saying? But, they want to go to these big-time showcases and pay, I mean, I ran a travel ball program and, to me, and I would be straight up with these parents. I was like, yo, listen, what you going to pay me and what you think is going to happen, all these, full rides and all of that, it don't work like that. You're not going to get a proper return on your investment. You're going to go to college and play, but it ain't what you're going to think it is, man. And I want to give a shout out. Coach, I don't know if you're going to remember him, but I just lost, speaking of travel ball, and I just had a conversation to, one of the local over there in Monticello, but he works for Middletown Record, over there in, my area in high school. But Donnie Becker, I don't know if you remember.
I remember Donnie Becker. It's a name going way back, but right. I remember that name.
Yeah, so he was Newburgh Nucleus, my Legion ball,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just passed away 2 days ago. And speaking of, and this is what I'm talking about, I'm getting goosebumps. And Mike Gambino, the head coach from Boston College, he called me upset and tears in his eyes and stuff, because that's what we all play for him. And speaking of travel ball and expenses, but I understand it's a different day in the game, but we would pay. I don't remember, my mother would know. I don't even think we paid, if anything, at all. But expenses, everything was paid for from that man right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a successful businessman, but I don't remember paying too much, except for, expenses that we go on the road and stuff like that. But I mean, nowadays, it's not like that unless, the high echelon guys, it may be a little bit there, but most of these kids are paying thousands of dollars back in the day. And this is Legion ball. This is not high level travel ball like the organization that going to check us up. Now, we were just playing local, like you said, and here and there we may go a little places here and there. He would flip the bill for all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to, rest in peace, Donnie Becker, took care of me. Used to drive me in his Benz, used to make me feel like a superstar before I was one. You know what I'm saying? And I miss, he's gonna be missed dearly, man. So
Well,
speaking
that was a great program. That was a great program in Newburgh.
it really was, man. 40-some years.
I remember. In fact, I remember playing it. I remember going out and trying to think of the field we played at. I don't know if it was Rockland Community College or
a little bit more north than that. Yeah, a little bit more. But I remember Rockland.
Yeah, I just remember going out because it was good baseball. My program was out of Schenectady. So we're talking about, I'd spend the minute the season got over, I started September 1st raising money for the following year. We charged, I think back then, it might have been $100 a kid. And most of that was spent on if they needed spikes or, I've always been an inner city guy and I wanted inner city kids to have a chance. And so, but, we'd have the money raised and before the season even started. And we knew what we were going to do. And times were different back then. People had some money to be able to donate to your program. And in fact, I got a great story when we were going to Prague one year. I'm on the ball field. And to this day, I don't know who the fella is. I'm on the ball field, and the guy comes up to the fence before the game. He says, "Here, coach, I heard you're going to Prague. Put this in your pocket. Hopefully it can help you out." So it was an envelope. I put it in my back pocket, forgot about almost about to wash my uniform. And, oh, that's right. Somebody gave me something. I'll never forget this, D. I opened it up. The guy had a bank check for $5,000 to help these kids out. And there's times I've driven around trying to look for him to thank him, and I've never had the opportunity to do that. And I never saw him again. That was back in 1990, and it was. Wow. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Listen, man. Getting back to your school and it sounds very. I'm intrigued. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. How many guys are you holding on the roster right now? Because you got kids from all over. How you getting kids from the DR and the Puerto Rico to come up to upstate New York over there in that cold? Are you saying like, hey, we spending half the year down in is that how you enticing them and getting them kids in here? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? It takes a lot of talking. I'll tell you that. But and I use that. And I tell them, listen, we're going to open up. We're going to be in warm weather in February. We're going to be in warm weather in March. So don't worry about it. By the time we get back home, it'll be nice and 48 degrees. We got a brand new turf field we play on in Schenectady. So it's about 10, 15 degrees warm. If it's a sunny day, it's a nice day on that field. So, so far it's worked out pretty well. And, but again, quite honestly, I push education. I think our schedule is as good as any schedule in upstate New York. And I tell the kids that we're going to play some St. Thomas University, Southeastern University. These guys they got great programs. Heck, St. Thomas, I feel bad for them. They had a weekend set against LSU last year that it got canceled just before just before they were about to go due to COVID. Now, these are top-notch programs, and I tell my guys, this is what if you think you can play at different levels, this is what you got to be at. And so they get to see it firsthand. We've competed at times. I think this year we'll compete more so. We put a pretty good team on paper. You know how that is. On paper, you look pretty good. We'll find out when the springtime comes around. But, it's about education, and they buy in here. And that's the part that I like the most, that I tell them, listen, you're not gonna miss class. There's suspensions involved if you do. You got to go to your class. You got to do the different things that are extremely important. I said, the school's backing you to do this. I mean, I don't know what other college at any level is on the road half the semester.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
There's hotel bills, there's meal money bills, there's all of that. And there's some money. Yeah, we raise some money, but it doesn't, it's a small percentage of what the total is that's being put out there. And so I'm proud to be at this college. And I've coached at different colleges throughout my career, and I'm happy with those. But once I got here and saw what they're doing in terms of the education, finding jobs for these kids, a lot of colleges, graduation day, they pat you on the back and they wish you the best of luck. Here, internships are mandatory. They're going to work with you. Even if you get a job in 5 years down the road, something happens, a company closes up, and you're looking for a job, this is a lifelong experience. They can come back to our career services, and they're going to work with them again. And I watch them in there, and I see how hard they work, and it's just been a tremendous situation.
All right, yeah. Some of your ex guys, man. Xavier Santiago says Coach Bob is the man. All right. My boy, one of my high school, teammates and longtime friend. I didn't even know he went to, to Bryant and Stratton, but he was like, good luck to Coach Bob, fellow BS alum. Hope the baseball team and program does well as a soccer team at the Syracuse location. All right, so I'm guessing that's where he went to school. But that's my boy. We went to high school together, and I've known him pretty much damn near half my life. But yeah, I didn't even know he went to it, so he chimed in. Never chimes in before, Paul. He comes your boy out. He done came in out of nowhere, but I guess he saw you was coming on. But good deal, man. So great schedule. 350 kids total at your location in Albany, right?
Well, 350 or less. Probably be somewhere between 300 and 350. Yeah.
How's the housing situation with apartments or dorms?
Yeah, the only it's mostly locals. To be honest with you, the housing is Albany. Albany has probably 7 colleges in Albany, and so they don't have enough housing on their college campuses. So they built, I think it's 3 or 4 different what they call overflow dormitories. They're private enterprises that people own, and so where our students stay, there are all 7 colleges are represented living in that dorm.
Wow.
So we got an area where our athletes are in one section. Then you got Albany Law School students, Albany Medical College students, Sage College, Albany College of Pharmacy. So it's about 10 minutes. We have a shuttle bus that picks them up from the campus, from the dorm, brings them to campus. That usually lasts for about a week or 2. Then guys they make friends, and guys got cars, and they're in the car with them. And so they figured it out really well here. We have an indoor facility that once the weather goes bad, that we rent. We get our kids in the gym working out, and so it's not a big college like the big colleges out there, but we get everything done that we got to get done to get ready.
Well, I got an outfielder from Florida over there. He wants an engineering program. How's your engineering program there?
Well, we don't have any engineering.
Okay.
I recommend though that there in the Northeast there's some good ones. RPI, Clarkson University, but we don't have engineering.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to. Paulie said that's why I chimed in. Yeah, I know, man, dude. Yeah, come and holler at your boy over there. I don't want to have to bring in your alum, your alum, or your coach over here from your alum over here just to get you on the show. All right, Paulie D. All right, man. But anyway, so no. All right. So what are I know you said you got a bunch of trade type opportunities there for kids, associates and 4-year. What is basically Bryant and Stratton? What are they kind of known for, academically?
Our business program is a top-notch business program. When you got the internships and the career services, it's not only business administration, you got human resources involved. And I'll give you another great story. I had a guy that transferred in. He had 1 year of eligibility left, and I tried to convince him to stay at the school he was at. I said, listen, you got 3 courses to finish up at that school. If you come over here, you're going to have to, you're probably going to lose some credits. Long story short, he talked to the people here and he said, I'm coming, coach. And he spent 1 year with us. We were at the national tournament at the end of the year. We just got beaten in a national championship game. He came up to me. He said, I just want to let you know, the college found me. I've been interviewing. Found me a great job, and I'm going to be starting in 2 weeks in human resources.
Nice.
And so we got that. We got a lot in the medical fields for 4-year programs, and the 2-year programs for criminal justice is a great program. We have the sciences and the associate's degrees, business and associates. It's probably very similar in the associates to your junior colleges. It's our limitation or limited number of four-year programs that we offer, which are business, human resources, and then the health sciences.
Okay. What are the costs that goes along with coming to school there?
Well, in terms of
tuition, room, board.
the overall
outside of scholarships, just to go there and in and out. Is it an in and out of state fee? Is it the same?
The fee's the same. The overall ticket with housing is $28,000 for the year. That's before any financial aid, any federal aid, any state aid, or any scholarship money. It's when you start adding, if you get federal aid, that's $6,000 a year. If you get another state aid here in New York, that's another $6,000. So now you're down to $16,000, and then you get a baseball scholarship. You might be paying $3,000 a year, $4,000 a semester, depending if you want to live on campus. Our locals, the cost is less than $20,000 for the locals. So once you start adding all those numbers in, I think we got a couple of locals coming here for probably $200 a semester.
Wow!
So it's the price is right. Academically, it's right. It's a good situation.
All right. Now, how many are you currently holding on a roster right now?
Right now, we got a fall roster of 45. We'll travel with 32, and sometimes I even think I got to add to that because when we go to Florida, we'll play 18 games in 18 days.
Wow.
And so, we'll have a day off or two, but we'll play a doubleheader. And you run out of pitching really quick out there.
Yeah.
Against those schools, same thing. So, but normally we travel with 32 guys.
Wow. So, do you have is it just one of those you guys practice all together? Do you have a JV program? Was it just you have?
We're gonna have we've scheduled junior colleges this year for those guys that aren't playing. Now we'll redshirt at the end of the fall. We'll redshirt some guys, but we want them playing. And I've told them all along. Some guys will get upset and say, Coach, I think I deserve to be on the 32-man roster. And I'll say, listen, next week you're going to play some game. We're going to be away. And we've scheduled some games. When you come along with us, chances of maybe getting one at bat in 2 weeks, 2 at bats, versus being able to get 10 or 12 at bats while you're home with that team's a much better situation. Prove to me that you can hit out there, hit against those teams, and then the next trip. I mean, we're always traveling, so it's a situation where if I took 32, say on Monday, doesn't mean the following Monday I'm going to take the same 32. It depends how hard they want to work. A lot of it depends on their academics. If they want to miss a class or something, then guess what? You're not going to be on the travel list. We're pretty strict about that.
All right. So when it comes to the recruiting side, I know COVID get hit hard up there in New York, definitely. What is the schedule now? Where are you at recruiting wise? You know what I'm saying? Are you a lot of guys come back, and if I'm not mistaken, you said this is your second year you're starting over here?
Well, it's my third year here, but I don't know if you count last year or not, right? Our first year we had a great year. We won 33 ball games, played for a national championship. Never expected that to happen, but the kids really came together, especially at the end of the year. I think we won something like 19 out of our last 25 games, and wow. They just came together really well. It's this fall. We started up our program. We go 4 days a week: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll play. Right now, we have 8 games scheduled against the NAIA club out of Boston, Fisher College. It's something that I've had a relationship with for years. And normally we would play other games, but I took them off the schedule this year. I want to get more into scrimmaging than playing somebody else, so everybody gets involved, and I'm not limited to 9 guys at a time. So we're going to start, actually next weekend, we're going to start scrimmaging every day. On weekends, 2-3 games a day. And so that, baseball people, my belief is at the end of the fall, they should have an idea where they stand. I want to put them. When we have our meeting, rather than them saying to me, "Hey, coach," I'm going to say, "What do you think? You got 60 at bats this fall, or you have to play this many games." So We got a good situation here with a turf field. If we wanted to open up in March, on a nice 40-degree day, and with sun, it's going to be 55, 60 on that field.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be able to play where other colleges with a grass field, they're not going to get out there till April anyway. So it's a good situation we have.
Speaking of facilities, I know you said you had a turf field. You mentioned something about indoor. You rent out indoors. It's just a local type of indoor, like where?
Actually this year it's one of my assistant coaches. His family opened up an indoor facility with a weight room area, so we're able to combine that rather than baseball facility over here and a weight room is a whole other place. So now we can do our workouts, we can do our baseball stuff in there. It's a good situation. On top of the fact that he's trained in all of that, a former college player that's very diverse for a young guy. He's an RN. He was a great college baseball player. So I'm excited to have him. His name is Jordan Bernasette. And, our program, little by little, we're going to get better every year. That's the goal, every year to get a little bit better.
Good deal. So the, camps or anything like that, is it wintertime indoors or summer next year? What's the deal?
Yeah, we're involved. We're involved with a program that actually I started way back. And when I moved to Vermont in 2005, I had to give it up. But it's called the Schenectady Blue Jays, which years ago was a minor league team. So I'm trying to remember. But Tommy Lasorda played on the team. I just can't remember. Might have been the Phillies at that time.
Okay.
And so we took that name. I lost it. They asked me if they could have that name. They took the name. So our club over the winter, and in fact, in another couple of weeks, we're going to run a lot of free clinics for the local kids in the area. And, I want to get more kids involved in baseball. We've lost a lot of kids over the years. It's about time they start coming back. And, if we can do things where it's not going to cost them anything, I think we can get them back.
So, you got DR, Curacao, West Coast, down south, everybody coming, from, you have a wide range of talent, on that current roster. Where are you at with your 2021s? Are you done recruiting 2021s with everybody maybe coming back or stuff? Like where are you on the recruiting?
Our 2021s, quite honestly, going to be wide open. Because of the COVID, we had 9 guys that were going to graduate. 5 of them came back, which kind of put a hurt on the scholarship money, as you probably heard from other coaches. But we lost those 4, and we had some other openings. Some kids, the 2 kids that took the jobs, they took the jobs, and some other kids decided that they were going to do something else. So we filled those slots, but we're going to be losing probably about 11 or 12 just from the academic work. And then, as you know, there's always some that feel that, well, maybe there's another program better for me. There's a lot of guys on the roster. And so in the end, next year is going to be a big recruiting year for me.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So when you're walking into the homes or you're calling these kids and anything like that, and you're telling them about Bryant and Stratton, and the academic side and the opportunities there to play college are awesome. But what about, them? Again, we talk about this because, everybody kind of got this shiny object of wanting to play bigger time baseball and all of that. How are you getting these kids to come and want to play for your school that, are enticed by the St. John's, Seton Halls, school. I'm just talking about schools in that particular area.
I don't know if we're going to compete for those guys when it's all said and done.
Okay.
What usually happens, and it's actually today I got a call from a guy out at a Division I school in Florida that he's a junior, and his coach called him in and said, "I don't have any plans for you anymore." This is a guy I recruited 4 years ago or 3 years ago. And, "Look, you got a place on my roster." I said, "Well, we probably have to wait till January and see how that all goes." But we're going to go out and recruit. I want to recruit the best I can. And if I'm going to go after a guy, my background is I've had the opportunity over the years, and I've coached a long time. 47 of my guys have gone on to play professional baseball. Yeah, I'm proud of that. They're all hard workers. There were no D Browns in that group. When you looked at them, you knew these guys all work for it. These guys are from small areas here in upstate New York. A lot of guys that I played in my summer program came from colleges, and so I'm very proud of that. And I passed that along. But in the end, how hard you're going to work, how often you're going to work, what you want to put into it. And I'm a big believer that there's a lot of guys that can make it. You just got to work for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen because you think it's going to happen.
Amen to that. Jansen says, Coach, did he have to recruit the whole team, or some players had already been on campus when you started the program?
Well, we had to recruit a whole new team. It was a brand new program 2 years ago, and quite honestly, this all happened at the end of April, May.
Wow.
The college wanted to wait another year to start the program, and I said, no, we'll put a team together in a couple months. And we were able that first year actually to recruit 45 guys between May and September 1st.
Wow. So, I mean, obviously you being around the game and your connections, obviously is the big reason, why, huh? I mean, to be able to get that many guys that quickly, man, that's testament to you.
I can tell you this, I haven't driven that much in a long, long time. I was all over the place, day in and day night, and but it all worked out. It's just a matter of, recruiting's tough. You got to work it. A lot of people, they get away from it and they just think it's going to happen. And this will be my 44th year, and I love it. It goes back to 1959. My brother played in the Little League World Series, and I was 6 years old at the time, but I remember that like it happened. And I just remember after they got eliminated, the team traveled to Yankee Stadium. I remember being in the stands at Yankee Stadium watching my brother shake hands with Mickey Mantle.
Wow.
And you know what? Fell in love with the game, and I've been in love with the game ever since.
Wow. I mean, that is crazy, man. So, what do you see, first of all, Coach, let me, if you could, saying we will have some parents and be listening, especially on the replay. They're going to want more information or want to send you some videos and stuff like that. So, what is the best way for them to reach you? Is it Twitter or is it email? If they have some kids that they want, for you to look.
I'll put out there my personal email only because our nowadays our college email is somehow emails don't get through. They're very secure here. So, but my personal email is coachg414@yahoo.com.
Coach G414
at yahoo.com, or they can go on the Bryant and Stratton site. And I know people have clicked my email address and they get through. I just don't understand all the security stuff that goes on. But I know that there have been people that I'll run into me and say, geez, I emailed you and I never got their email.
All right, so I just posted it. It's in here, Coach G414 yahoo.com. So if you're interested in learning more, or you want Coach to, potentially see your son, we'll see what he has. His 2021s are wide open. And as long as you can play, it is upstate New York. But the good thing is, come about mid-April, beautiful weather. All right, beautiful to end April.
Home game till April.
Yeah, so you
open up February 3rd.
All right, so yeah, first couple of months, you definitely will. But the good thing is, like you said, you're gonna be on the road. So if your kid is very disciplined and he's gonna have, obviously academic help on the road, but he told you half the semester is on the road. So if to me, if I'm in high school, that excites me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I get to go down south and travel Louisiana, Florida, Virginia. I think you said Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Places like that on the road. Plays against some top college, some top talent. Hey, listen, sign me up. All right. So I also got this one over here, Coach. I know you say sometimes you don't get it, but I'm gonna put both of them up there just for for the sake, okay? But
I appreciate it. Thank you.
yep. So anyway, we got the pricing, we got the schedule, we have the roster. All right, the wide range is. I love that aspect of it. You're in multiple countries and multiple states. Let me ask you a question, man, from a personal standpoint. All right, you've been around the game over there in the Northeast over there for a long time, man. So give me, the ball players are getting better up there, or they let me know, man, because I'm biased to my time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not up there no more. So overall, the talent getting better up there, or what?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, you take a look at the Atlanta Braves right now. Ian Anderson, he's from here. He was the number 2 or number 3 draft pick 4 years ago with the Braves. He's 3-0 in the major leagues.
Nice.
He almost pitched 2 no-hitters in his time out there.
Nice.
A great talent. There was another guy the year before was drafted second or third. I don't know what you were drafted in the first round, correct?
Yep.
What pick were you?
14th.
14th. That's probably at that point was the highest pick in New York State ever. I don't remember, but we got guys in the last few years that were in the top 5 picks in the country, and I think upstate New York baseball is real good baseball. The high school programs, they got a lot of good guys coaching it. They take it seriously. Then you get in the outskirts area, so I think it's gotten better over the years. It's up and down, just like any place else.
Right.
It's tough here because of the weather.
Yeah, but it also builds character, man. It's a different type of ball play up there, man. So but it is what it is. I just like the fact that you got the warm weather guys wanting to come up there, because usually it's the opposite. They all want to migrate. You know what I'm saying? So I just think they see the opportunity. That's the main thing, So and good coaching. I mean, you've been around the game. You are well connected more than any other coach that's out there. So and I know that's a plus for them, and that's a good thing, man. So coach, man. So I mean, listen, I love to learn about. I love learning about Bryant and Stratton. I want you, while I get my little, I don't know. I say my little parting gifts. All right. I want you to think of your message that we're gonna end this, and as we finish up this interview here. So anyway, parents, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, I have Lubbock Christian pitching coach, good friend of mine, ex-teammate of mine. Speaking of first round pick, my boy Jermaine Van Buren over there at Lubbock Christian Division II. Supposed to be a big time powerhouse Division II school. He's brand new pitcher coach over there, going into his second year. He will be joining us tomorrow to talk a little bit of Texas. Like I said, we all over. We go to New York, over there now. Tomorrow we were in Texas. 2 days ago we were in Mississippi. So we all over. But he will be joining us tomorrow to talk about his Division II powerhouse school. Again, the showcase camps. All right, Jackson State Community College in Tennessee. We're having a good amount of kids signed up. Again, there are 27 schools that will be live streaming in, coach. You know what I'm saying? I may need to, send you a little link over there if you're not doing nothing next Saturday. If you want to chime in, looking at some talent over there that we got about 4 or 5 different states representing coming into Jackson State, Tennessee. I can send you that link out if you're interested. All right, and we have a couple of pro scouts that will be in attendance there too. So we are October 17th. We have Lockdown Atlanta, South Gwinnett High School with Clark Atlanta head coach will be running the pro showcase with me. All right, so all you guys, Atlanta, in that we're opening it up from freshmen to seniors, and I will have that link tomorrow for you to start signing up for that for all the Atlanta area. From a freshman all the way through to some senior. You can sign up for that, and then we're trying to lock down this Florida thing, man. I'm a boy. Shout out to my boy Randy that's listening. All right, just trying to get you guys some exposure, man. This fall. All right, so all right. Coach, all right, I said my spiel, man. I got to get them in. All right, so if you could, man, I'd like to have all my coaches or guests that come on, man, end us with a good message if you could, man. So, Coach, if just for any of the parents, man, or listeners listening that will be listening to the replay too.
Yeah, again, as I said earlier, parents, do your due diligence before you go out and spend all kinds of money. You got a ball player that's looking to go to college. Pick a good couple places. Play a lot of baseball. Get used to playing a lot of baseball and go to a couple showcases. Go to a couple. Pick the college. Pick 5 colleges that your son or daughter want to go to school, and go to those. I'm sure most of those colleges have a showcase. Go in front of that coach and find out what you really feel. That the coach will be honest with you. He's going to tell you right up front, and that's the way to do it. You don't have to spend the thousands and thousands of dollars to get noticed. It can be done for a lot less.
And there you go. And then you have it. All right. Return on investment is not really there sometimes, most of the time, with this travel baseball stuff, man. So that's what he's saying. So 40 years plus in the game, scout, coaching many, many years, all different college levels. Been scouting talent for many, many years, knows what he's talking about. So, man, Coach Bob, man, I appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Man, it's
been a long time, but I can still see that ball going.
That was the good old days when your boy had a nice swing and had that pop. Nowadays, I'm throwing my back out trying to do that. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate it, man, taking out the time and doing this and talking about your school, man. And again, I'm gonna just end it with this. I'm gonna post that email again. This is a personal email. Send the video here. If you are interested in Bryant and Stratton up in Albany, New York, I play a top-notch schedule. They got kids from Dominican, Curacao, over 8 to 10 states represented, Puerto Rico also. So listen, wide range of talent on the team, diverse, just like you'll get in the real world, or especially if you go into the professional rankings. That's pretty much what you'll see those type of rosters too. So again, shout out to Coach over there, Coach Bob at Bryant and Stratton. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. All right, my boy Jermaine. All right, no doubt about it. Jermaine Van Buren coming on 4 p.m. tomorrow. I love a Christian college, university. All right, I'll talk to you later. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.